everyone, welcome to episode 24 of the What the Sheep podcast. I am joined today by my wonderful friend, Alana, and we will be discussing and breaking down and just generally gushing about episode 113 of Campaign 2 of Critical Role, where things are getting quite spicy, I would say. This episode, while it was mainly combat, there was a lot of little things that happened that made the whole experience pretty insane. But yeah, so we have the party found themselves in a bit of a pickle with several of these crustacean creatures, and then the weird what are they called? The tentacly, the weird
deep scions.
The deep scions, yes.
Yeah.
And then of course Avantika with her wicked weapons. However, it turns out one of them was only a boon, but that other weapon they found, we'll talk about it later, but the dagger was pretty slick.
The dagger was cool. Just quickly back to what you were saying before about how like these are the moments you remember from like campaign 1, like the returns of the villains and things like that. I get very strong Scanlan as a dinosaur on a roof in Whitestone with the T-Rex on the boat. Like, that's I showed you my notes before, and it's just literally middle of the page. It says T-Rex.
Yeah,
that was amazing. I'm excited to talk about that.
I love that. But real quick, so in the start of this combat, Ford pretty quickly used his channel divinity. He used his new oath ability, which was pretty cool. A little thing.
It was cool. It was tricky.
But what makes it interesting is, I think because he did it so early on, and because Avantika kind of made a quick entrance, I feel like only Ford like knew she was actually there until people came like bumping into her and eventually saw her, which made it also really interesting.
I think they said at one point, like, Liam was like, well, we don't even know she's there right now, do we? And Matt's like, nope. He's like, okay. All right, I guess we'll keep doing this. It made it really tricky. It was cool. I think it definitely slowed her down, but it slowed the rest of the party down a bit as well. But I think probably more to their advantage, because them getting slowed down, fine, but it was important to slow her down in that fight, because, I mean, if she'd gotten the orb and jumped away quicker, it would have been a much shorter fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably. They all would have immediately focus fired on Avantika, and she would have been dusted super early on. But speaking of almost getting dusted early on, Caleb got absolutely wailed on that fight.
Oh my god.
Was it a witch bolt? I think that was
level 5 witch bolt crit.
Yeah.
That was
because I'm not super familiar with Witch Bolt, and I'm like 99.9% sure this isn't how it works. But I know that when Witch Bolt is successful, you can just automatically do damage in subsequent rounds. That damage isn't always crit then, right? It's just regular damage.
But that's interesting, because you don't need a re-roll.
Right.
But Witch Bolt is something you can crit on. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. What does chat think? Can you?
I feel like probably not, because that would make Witch Bolt absolutely nuts if you could just keep doing crit damage.
But I just typed critting. I don't know. That's interesting, because you can crit on the initial damage, but then you don't re-roll, so it's not like you then have a chance to crit again.
Right.
It's interesting. I'm gonna look that up later, because it's not working for me right
Does
now.
Lynn know? Does Lynn know a specific D&D rule? Paging Lynn. It's okay if you don't know, Lynn.
No crit for other turns, so only 1d12 no matter.
Yeah. Can't say. I don't think I've actually ever really used that spell. I don't.
It's fun. It's sucky if it misses, but it's fun when it hits.
Yeah.
But that was intense. He took a lot of damage in that one turn, and then got immediately like swarmed by other
pummeled
enemies. The wizard was on him, or like the mage was on him. The crabs were on him. He had a lot of things going bad.
But the thing about I guess for clerics as well, and anyone really who has access to the polymorph spell, Like, as long as you don't get one shot and you're able to get to your turn, you can just polymorph yourself with someone that has, like, 1,000,000 hit points and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Although it can be dispelled.
True.
Yeah, which I thought was what was going to happen. I think Matt even said, like, he knows what's more important at the moment, the mage. So he probably might have dispelled the T-Rex, but the fog cloud was a nuisance, so we got rid of that instead.
Oh, gotcha.
But which would have sucked because then Caleb would have just been.
Yeah.
It would have sucked because Caleb would have been back with low HP. He might have polymorphed again, but that would have then had consequences for what happened after break because he used his other polymorph. I don't know how many spell slots he had. He could have been fine. It was probably fine, but it was fun regardless.
Yeah.
Just
turning into a big
giant
old
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
The gentle placement of it on the boat, trying to get the balance. Yeah.
I also just like the image of because after the fight was over, this is skipping ahead a little bit, but Caduceus went down below to make sure the tea was okay, and Vestaragna is just chilling down there sipping on tea. So I just like to imagine, like, as all of this chaos is happening above deck and there's like explosions, screaming, and all of these different sounds, Ves is just sitting there listening to it all, just like sipping, like minding her own business, not even giving a single hoot about what's happening.
I saw someone put a reaction gif on Twitter of like Stan Lee in the library with like Spider-Man Homecoming where they're fighting in the background. I might have been Spider-Man in the background fighting an enemy and Stan Lee's just doing the books. But I agree. I think she knew 100% what was happening. Oh, yeah. I was just listening to it.
She just didn't care.
And just not getting involved. Yeah. She does her own thing.
But also fair. Like, this isn't her thing. And she did hire the party to guard her, be bodyguard, so understandable. But because she's also probably a very powerful caster, she probably could have
yeah. Oh yeah, she probably could have wrecked it a lot quicker. But no. Did anyone die? I think we talked about last week. One crew member got thrown overboard.
Yes. So but one is probably dead.
Yeah.
But I think everyone else was fine.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
are those the ballistas that they were using? Yes. Were those like arcane enchanted?
Yeah.
See, it sounded like he was like, the way you described it made it sound like that. And the only time we saw ballistas like this or similar ones was in the Happy Fun Ball.
Yeah. So I think these were just regular ones because I think those ones were like had multiple different functions. These ones just seemed like they did like extra force damage or something maybe. But like the Cerberus assembly ships from the Navy when they were in the
That's right.
had arcane blisters as well. Yeah. So I figured they're just probably like if you got the money you can get them. They're kind of cool. Were they ballistas? Ooh, I don't remember that then. But I assume yes because you think there are.
Yeah.
So in Bazzoxan.
We will easily take your word for
it. 100% just trust your word.
Yep.
They do remind, Dragon. That's a good point. They remind me a bit of a railgun, which is cool.
Yeah.
Just like the slow charge up, and then just the straight force shot. Lynn, you're great.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Okay, what else happened? I love the Spartan kick idea that didn't come to fruition.
Oh yeah.
It would have been amazing, and it brought out one of my favorite things with D&D and just role playing in general, where Travis was like, it'd be really cool if it works and really embarrassing if it doesn't, and Liam's like, oh, that's a win-win, like that's
true.
Good. It's great.
That's true.
And I'm like, that's what I love about these players, because they embrace the failures and have fun with it as well. Because it would have been incredibly funny if it had failed, but it would have been another good moment.
I mean, like the little dance that Ford, Bo, and Avantika were doing, were trying to grab the orb and stuff. That was they were taking up basically their full turn to try to grab it. So high risk, high reward. Ended up not going in their favor. And then Dragon
as well.
Dr. Sevengon brings up the Thunder Wave. Dragon.
I don't know. Dr. Sevengon, is it Dr. Sevengon or is it Dragon?
Or is it Dr. Septagon? Right, Sept is 7, right?
Maybe.
Ooh.
I don't know.
What's the lore behind your name?
What is it?
What's the deep lore? This is now a name
Whoa, Lady
podcast.
Purple, really? Oh, that doesn't help us, Dr. Seven Gun. Oh, Dr. Seven Gun, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
like, just wrote the name out again. Lady Purple, that's a really cool point. Kayla went down to 6 HP
Oh,
before
he
changing
did?
something.
I wasn't even looking
Yeah,
at
I
his
wasn't even paying
HP.
attention. I think the witch belt was something like 60 something damage. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that's a fair chunk of his health, but I didn't realize he'd been.
So is his max HP like even in the 90s yet, or is it still like?
I think it's like 90. Oh, it's low because I remember the last time he leveled up, he said something along the lines of, "If I roll max, I will get to triple digits."
83?
I think he's like 83. Okay.
Holy moly!
Maybe I was misremembering.
He is a baby.
Maybe I was misremembering. But yeah, low. It's low. He's a wizard.
Yeah.
Like.
Good gracious. Yeah. But yeah, the thunder wave. That thunder wave could have gone a lot worse for the party if they had all failed.
Oh yeah.
Flown out.
Yeah, and I was freaking out. I was like, no, Fath in the water. This is awful. Like this is like her worst nightmare. Oh, she can walk in water. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still cool. But yeah, I think they brought it up, and I want to know what you think. We don't know kind of what is happening really with Ukuto. We know he wants the orb back because he needs it to be released.
Right.
Do you think he needs Ford as well? Or is that more just like a personal thing?
I feel like at this point it's probably a personal thing. Because when Caleb was investigating that divinity crystal, whatever it was, that the mage had, he was able to deduce that it was specifically to locate the crystal, not Ford.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they really only need the orb, but because of the ties that Ford had to Ukatoa, there's probably a little bit of like a revenge arc there that Ukatoa wants. And Avantika, she's probably not too excited and stuff. But one of the cool things about this episode was like the almost poetic nature of the battle between Ford and Avantika. Because when they first met, Avantika was more of the I would say she was probably more powerful than Ford at the time.
Yeah.
And she definitely
a lot more in the know as well.
Yeah, she was a lot more in the know. Had maybe a bit of a closer tie to Ukatoa and all of that stuff. But now there's like a major like shift in the power dynamic, or like an equalization in the power dynamic.
Yeah.
Of Ford leaving Ukatoa.
Like,
yeah. True. Yeah. Oh man, that's some shade.
Even though like Ford doesn't always play super confident, I guess, with his abilities. Like he plays the face and he can act the confident part, but a lot of the time he's more like subdued in how he views his power and his strengths. Yeah, he's super powerful. Like he's got multiple levels in Paladin, although his most recent level was in Warlock, wasn't it?
I actually can't remember. I think
he's taken a level in Warlock since becoming a Paladin.
Okay, maybe it was the most recent one, because I know he already. I think he already did or was level 3 in Paladin, or what was the only level? I can't remember. It was it Paladin?
I just remember the last time they were filming roles, he said he was taking a level in Warlock. So, I'm not sure which level it was.
There was a Warlock most recent.
Okay, he went 2 Paladin and 1 to Warlock. Yes, that's right. Because it was like, no, go Paladin, take your
get your oath. We need your oath. We need to see it.
Yeah.
But so it was just cool seeing because this is the first time obviously Ford has gone against Avantika obviously since his change.
Yeah.
So it was just cool. I was hoping Matt would describe his warlock abilities a bit more when he was casting them at Avantika, specifically like the hex and that stuff, because I know he's been saying how instead of like shadows, well, while it is shadows, but also like vines sort of grow onto the person, sort of cling to them. So it would have been cool if Matt had sort of described that flavor and then seen Avantika's reaction to that, like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
But then what's also funny is that in this same combat of them going back and forth, out of character, they were teasing Ford being like, just try to seduce her again. You know, and Ford was like, I've thought about you every day since you've died.
Yeah, I think they said, like, you have one power that works against her. Like,
yeah.
Man, that would have been a fun play.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
just natural 20 on the charisma check. It's fine.
It was a very heavy fight in terms of, as you said, like, I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of area effects. So the map itself was just super
decked
covered.
Out.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. I didn't even I didn't even realize my own pun.
Yeah. But it felt so cool. I enjoyed them all kind of running headlong into the fog and then just like bumping into. I think all of them bumped into Caduceus at some point.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh. But no, I really enjoyed it because it was the fight had to be technical because there was so much going on, which I enjoy. I really like technical fights.
Mm-hmm.
And it was long, but it still felt like a lot of stuff was happening, but the dice rolls were really bad.
Yeah.
A lot of
it was going real rough for a lot of the members.
To the point where I was getting concerned that someone was going to go overboard or someone was going to disappear or just straight go down. Like, had Caleb gone down, or if, like, his T-Rex had been dispelled, like 6 HP. There was nothing much you could do after that.
Although, do you think that they would have gone for a kill on any of the members of the party? Because it seemed like their mission was just to get the crystal. Do you think if given the opportunity, maybe?
I think the crab creatures could have. I think had, like, Bo not escaped as quickly, if she remained grappled, she could have been targeted more. I'm not sure how much health she had after the end of that fight, but I think she was still a little bit, like, rough. So she could have been harried by the crab creatures. The Thools? Chools,
yeah.
I'm saying crab creatures easier.
Yeah.
Like, Caleb definitely could have gone down. Yasha was fine, probably. I don't know what Jester was looking at. I don't think Jester got hit much. But I think definitely it wouldn't have been their focus to kill a member of the Mighty Nine, not like a revenge sort of thing, but just to get them out of the way, just to get the spellcaster out of the way, the one that's flying around and like zapping people. Like, it's a nuisance. Get rid of him.
Right.
Or the clerics with their spiritual guardians. These things are, because I think the spiritual guardians did the most damage to
that is
enemies.
Rough when you have two of them going up.
On Avantika's turn, she took like 43 points of damage at the start of her turn. Like, that's terrible. It's awesome for the players, but that's terrible for the NPC. Like, that hurts a lot.
Yeah.
So they were getting harried. So I could see them like maybe targeting, which I think. Well, I don't think it was like purposeful, but like the clerics got grabbed at one point, one in each claw from the crabs, and had that moment when it was getting shot back off the boat, or it was getting like knocked back. I was like, oh, it's going to take the clerics with them. That'd be fun. Yeah. Matt was much more gracious than I am as a DM and let them go.
Yeah. Garth McMurray brings up an interesting point. I feel like the big thing we should have been worrying about this entire fight was the fireworks being set off. I know they brought it up after the fight was over, but one stray spark and the deck is lighting up with fireworks.
That would be interesting. I wonder what would have happened. So I don't think it would have been enough to like blow up the boat.
Right.
Although there's a lot of fireworks. But I wonder if there would be like blinded and deafened conditions added. I wonder if, like
that would have been a whole another layer.
Oh man.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, was there a sleet storm? Oh, there was the storm. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So it made. Was that? Because at one point, Taliesin said like difficult terrain, and I wasn't sure what he was talking about. But that must have been the sleet storm.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of damage, a lot of fire damage, maybe from the fireworks. Yeah. Yeah, that it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Had they gone off, it would have been a huge party.
But because this episode was, all Avantika all day, this is a nice segue into the fan art pieces that we took for this one. Because coincidentally, they are both Avantika themed. We'll do yours first, and then we'll do mine a little bit later, because mine pertains to later in this episode. Cool. But we can switch over to Alana's pick for fan art. Bum, 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 bum. By @Mathilde on Tumblr. They may be on Twitter. I'm not sure, but this was a Tumblr link that you had sent me. So this is on Tumblr.
I just think she looks so cool.
She does.
I think of all like the when Matt described like her neck being askew, like this is exactly how I pictured it.
Yeah.
This was probably like one of the best art I saw of how the neck was like absolutely messed up.
And she's looking buff in that picture too.
Oh yeah, she's looking good. Not bad for an undead.
Yeah, yeah. But I love the barnacles and stuff. Really leaning into that the undead sea humanoid type feel, and of course the eye.
This is very slick art.
Yeah.
She's so.
I forget that is she full elf or is she half elf? I can't remember, but whatever it is, I always forget that she is half. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're the best, Lynn.
Yeah. Super awesome.
Really cool art. I like it. I like how kind of dark it is. It makes it feel like it's in the water.
Yeah.
Her clothing too. I like they pointed out how in the fight, Avantika's there with Ford in the fog cloud. Bo comes running in, bumps into her, wearing her clothes.
Yeah. Yep.
Avantika's like, what? What are you doing?
Yep. Wait, that's my shirt.
Yep.
This is personal now.
That's my frock. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, super excited.
Yeah.
For all that stuff.
I'll post the link to that post.
Oh, it is full elf.
Oh. It is full elf?
She is full
Lynn. Elf. How good now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I guess that'll teach us to never always take Lynn's word. Not yet. Exactly. Switching back over, we'll go to my pick a little bit later, and then so the fight was shaky a little bit, but eventually unfortunately Avantika was able to get the orb in her possession. Oh, but the one thing that I want to talk about, going back to that equalization of the power dynamic between Ford and Avantika, I think one of the coolest moments, like there were so many cool moments between Ford and Avantika in this whole episode, but one of the cool ones was Ford commanding Avantika to drop the orb.
Yes,
just that visual of actually seeing that power level equalize, and this is the first Avantika and Ford, their face off once again, and Ford just stares at her and commands her to drop it. It was just a really cool visual to see that happen. Yeah, I'm the captain now. Yeah.
That's good. Because command is a hard spell to kind of get right. And it's, again, like it sucks when it doesn't work, but it's super powerful. Does because it does give you that whole round of them doing nothing as well. It's not just like
huge.
Get them to do what you want. It's they waste an entire turn doing it, which is I was panicking because Matt was describing like how she dropped it and you picked it up as your bonus action. Let's move on. I was like, no, like take the turn away. This is but it was really cool.
That's a really good point, actually, her losing that turn, because then I feel like that allowed most of the party then to close in on her even more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Nah, good fight. I liked I just liked it. It was good. It was something that I'd probably rewatch sped up. I know we talked about that a little bit, but like probably speed it up just to get through it, because it was like a solid 2 hours, maybe like 2 hours of combat, or maybe just a bit less than 2 hours before they went to the break. but yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of stuff happening. Like I said, I really enjoy technical kind of fights, and everyone kind of had. It felt like four. It felt like four mini battles in one, because there was the different encounters all across this tiny little boat mini that Matt had.
True, that's true, because Yasha was kind of up in her own little world up in the top of the thing.
Envy Matt with all the rings. I like the joke about the Olympics, how like there's going to be so many rings on the map. But yeah, no, it was really cool, really enjoyable. So many fun moments, so many fun little. But,
and then we had after the break. Yeah, when she wait, did she dimension door before or after the break?
Dimension door before the break, because then they came back immediately.
Then they came back. Yes. So yeah, we got a nice bulky combat, and then we got a really awesome chase scene right afterwards, which was cool.
I figured that she was gonna dimension door. I thought she would try to take forward her, but at the same time, I did not expect a chase. I thought they were going to be like, oh well, she's gone. But I guess I mean, if she's only 500 feet away, why not? Like,
true.
Let's go for it.
True. But also the fact that they thought she had the orb, right? Because she ended up not having it. The maid.
No, she had it.
Okay, she did have it. Okay.
Yeah, she had it. So I guess they just like, that's it. We know. Yeah, we
need.
Which is fair enough. Yeah, this is important. This is not something we can let go. And yeah, that was really cool. I liked the chase. I did not envy Matt in that, trying to calculate depth and distance and perceptive range of killer whales under ice. That was very cool, and it gave us again so many amazing moments with Bo and Veth doing synchronized water skiing moves and
I hope there's going to be fan art of that. There's got to be. There's got to eventually be. Oh, there already is? Oh. I missed that. I should have chosen that.
It felt like a super cool, like, superhero moment at the start, where they're like, I grab the rope in my mouth and I dive in and transform midway, and I grab the rope as they're falling and start skiing behind them. It felt like the Mighty Nine know their shit. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when they were all like calling this out, and it was just all very synergistic. I was like, dang, all right, let's go Mighty Nine.
No, it's very cool. And cool chase. I liked them trying to hunt her down, trying to find her. Really good rolls in the second half.
Yeah. I think Liam rolled like 3 natural 20s.
Yeah. Not I don't think in a row, but like he got like a lot. He got like dirty 20s as well. Yeah. Yeah. Really good, because that could have been well, it would have been bad had they lost. Yeah. But man, yeah, that was really cool. I was super excited when it worked. I was super excited when they caught up. I thought,
the visual of Jester sending out the guiding bolt and sort of lighting up the area as it travels, and then passing Avantika, and then her turning and seeing the approaching Mighty Nine. Yeah, that's a cool visual as well.
Yeah, Matt's description of like the thrashing changing because she becomes aware that she's being hunted. I was just like, ooh, so cool.
Yeah.
And then just absolutely annihilating her in the water.
Yeah. But this
she still had that teleport move up her sleeve where, like, Cad.
Oh yeah, when he.
Tried to him her and she managed to teleport towards him, which was spooky. Not expecting that. But they made pretty quick work of her.
She was. I feel like Matt built her to be anti Mighty Nine, because she was immune to like charm effects, stuns, paralyzing, like a bunch of different things, and then she was also able to teleport to casters if they missed a spell. So it was like very very rough for the Mighty Nine. If she had more of a support, obviously when it's a 1 versus 7, it's a lot harder to come out on top. But man, that
it's the poetic nature of Travis's dice rolls is always wonderful, because it's that whole thing of like, when he fails, it's fantastic. When he succeeds, it's like
super
triumphant.
epic.
And,
yeah.
his final attacks on her, and then obviously we see. Did you see Matt's tweet about it?
I did not.
You did
actually.
not?
No. What did he?
Oh my.
What did he?
So the Star Razor has exalted.
Which okay, I did see that. Wait, which means it's what?
It's vestige.
Of the Wild Mother?
No, the Star Razor's Sehanine and Melora. Oh, and the Wild Mother, yeah, so maybe. But yeah.
Holy moly.
It's exalted. It's a vestige, and it...
when did that happen? Did that happen because he killed Avantika, or was it just... Oh, because I remember he described it like it like grew and like...
It grew and
had more runes and stuff.
He said something like it awakened when it was reforged, so it was already at its second level, and this kind of killing Ford's major foe has exalted, so now it's full-fledged. Yeah.
So then maybe because that is super cool actually, because I wonder what like new abilities it'll have with that.
It's probably one of my favorite things of Exandria are the vestiges. The fact that you have these items and these weapons that grow with the player, that grow with the growth of the character. The fact that you get these super cool character moments, because that is a huge character moment for Ford to have killed Avantika to reclaim the maybe killed Avantika, we're not sure. She's pretty dead now, but she came back before. But to have this super cool character moment of growth and, as you say, kind of taking control of the situation and becoming more powerful than her, and then to be rewarded like instantly by that. And I play a lot of martial characters when I play D&D, so stupid Alana always forms connections to her fictional weapons, even if they're just like a plain a plain longsword or something. That, like, I love weapons in D&D, so the idea that you have this super intrinsic connection to your weapon that actually grows with you, like, so cool. It's like one of the neatest things. So whenever, like in campaign 1, whenever a vestige exalted, it was like the best thing. Going back and watching it, I went back and rewatched just that scene. Laura and Talison's reactions to it growing and changing are wonderful. Like, they're just both like but it was a lot of fun. And Sloth, that's a good point. It was so good that Ford got the fun blow. I wonder in those moments if, like, Matt's maybe like either holding back to let it for the lead character for that scene, or if like maybe she still had 5 hit points left, but he's like, oh, you just what a good DM would do, because it's narratively satisfying. But yeah, it was so cool, and the way he described like
it was good. But the moment before that, when they were pursuing her and Ford drops his polymorph form or whatever, and then teleports in front of her, blocking her path from leaving. That visual also is super cool, which leads into my fan art pick for that episode. We're gonna transition into this one. So good. At SilverBD on Twitter.
Holy crap,
my gosh.
That's
so cool.
Awesome.
My God.
Oh, coral up her legs. That's a really cool Avantika.
Ford with the power move. Yeah, she's looking very icky.
Icky. Oh wow, that's so cool. Link that, because I want to go check out that first. It was just like the teleport in front of her because of the Hexblade's curse. It just annihilate her. Oh no, did he?
Well, because he had Hex on it, so he could teleport to her.
And then I think he just swam the rest of the way before the final attack, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
But either way, it's still very cool.
Oh, that's right. She did lose her hair, or at least a chunk of it when Bo.
Yeah,
not the best visual, but yeah, love this art. Loved that moment of Ford like blocking her path. Like, no, like, you're not getting out of this. Super cool.
Oh my God.
And then the description of Ford slaying her. Now we talked a little bit about this before stream. How we were like, is Avantika really dead, or is she like a revenant and she's gonna come back with like a new form or something? So, not really sure.
So I don't know, because I was thinking maybe Deathlock, but we're saying like maybe homebrewed a bit because they don't often have personality, or they don't have like, they've got drive but they don't have like their old selves about them.
Yeah.
Revenant could make sense, which would be terrifying because it means she's definitely not dead. Yeah. She's still like, she's coming back. That'd be cool if she was a revenant, although I don't know if revenants suffer regular undead damage vulnerabilities, but that's getting kind of technical.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, she could be very homebrewed to this point. So.
But either way, I feel like I hope she's not dead. I mean, it's cool. It'd be satisfying because of the way she died.
Yeah.
And it'd be fine. But she's just such a cool character that anytime they go out on water, the fact that she's there,
right.
She's essentially like a Briarwood, like constantly coming back, constantly fucking up their plans. It'll be like Ford and Jester's wedding one shot.
Oh
she
gosh.
Turns up.
She comes crawling out of the water. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, man, very cool.
Yeah. A very satisfying moment for Ford.
I'm trying to think, what else did I have in my notes? I had in big letters T-Rex, then whale chase.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But yeah. Then they continued back on their way.
Yeah. They went. They accidentally summoned a pod of orcas. To the area. Yeah. And then they had a nice little celebration back on the ship where they did try to destroy the orb, but were unsuccessful.
Yes, that is interesting. Yeah, they did try to like magicians judge it, and it didn't work, which is nerve-wracking because you've got to think then, is this something that's going to always be like an issue? Because what if that divining thing could find it in Caleb's pocket plane, you'd assume that it could also find it in the pocket plane of a bag of holding.
Right.
Which, if that gets dispelled, that's not cool.
That's not good.
that's dangerous. So, yeah, I know they talked about like maybe going to see Yusa and see what they can do, if they put in the Happy Fun Ball, or I don't know. I feel like it's something that's always going to be an issue.
Right. They just need to stay away from bodies of water. That's all it really is. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like maybe putting it in the Astral Dreadnought would be a good idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But that's pretty easy to get in and out of. If you can get into Happy Fun Ball, I think that's not so much a issue. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be fine. Avantika's dead.
I want Ukatoa to be released.
I know. I want the world to end. I want everything bad to happen.
New age.
Yeah. I do really want that.
Pirate campaign where they're sailors. Yep. Campaign 3, sailors dealing with Ukatoa. Called it.
Yeah. I really want it.
But yeah, no, it'd be really cool if Ukatoa gets released. But I'm also super nervous. Yeah.
And then they just had a few days of traveling. Oh, but then in this time of travel, they did identify that dagger, which is super deadly.
I didn't pay attention to what it does.
I think at base it's just like a +1 dagger, but then it has the ability where you can expend a hit die to do 3d8 necrotic damage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, like take some of your essence.
Yeah.
To core cut dagger, I think.
Super cool.
Now, people were saying that it was similar to Whisper, in the sense that it was a dagger found in the ocean, Like, that's what I kept seeing comments saying, like, oh, a whisper was found in the ocean and all this sort of stuff. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone remember anything about the campaign One Dagger whisper being found in the ocean? I don't remember that. But I saw a lot of comments about it saying, like, whisper was a weird sea sword.
Oh, yes, and we had Caduceus with his little chocolate bombs. When did he get those? Because I was like, wait, you bought those in
I feel like that's something. He's like, hey, Matt, can Caduceus have bought this?
Yeah.
It was at the bottom of... Oh, that's right. It was on the island. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow. We're getting a lot of lore on the Whisper. Ooh.
Which is actually a very kind of similar-esque episode of them dealing with a villain coming back. Ripley and Avantika, very kind of similar-ish, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess in a way, yeah.
The zealots, both warlocks, both with cool magical daggers.
Yeah. And Avantika has Ford's name etched on her dagger.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Oh, man.
Orthax is back.
Yep.
Oh,
Orthax
God.
is actually Uk'otoa.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Cool.
that would have been... That would be a twist.
That would suck. See, Uk'otoa is cool. I really like Uk'otoa. Orthax is a dick. I do not like Orthax. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting who gets it. I mean, it makes sense for the rogue to have a dagger, but I don't know.
Right.
She doesn't really get in close. She doesn't really get into melee range much, Fair. I could see, like, maybe Bo or even Caleb using it. It depends if it's attunement, I guess, because they're kind of full up.
That's true.
It is attunement, according to the wiki. And I trust the wiki.
Dang. Still a wicked dagger.
Yeah, very cool. There's already art of it.
Of the dagger? Oh my gosh.
Dagger.
People are insane.
Goodness. Lynn, you work too quickly.
Yeah. Oh, can you slow down? Can you stop being so amazing?
Yeah. But yeah, awesome. And then I felt kind of like Matt was going to end it with Avantika dying, but it makes sense for him to kind of finish them up getting to the island.
Yeah.
The rolls, the D10 rolls, to see like how the days of travel went, were a lot of fun again. I was terrified because how Matt said it was only a 10% chance that Avantika actually appeared, like had you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Which throws a whole nother range of like, well, but is it just like any time he's on the ocean, this is a possibility?
Yeah.
So that was really fun. But I was terrified that a 10 was going to be Caledon still. I was like, oh, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really liked the monster they came across the sea.
Yeah, the little sea creatures, the mama and their babies. Yeah. That was super cute.
Yeah, that was a nice little moment, and I like the idea of it guiding them through the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Just a very, very wholesome beat in the story after all the craziness that happened before.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. We've still got the return trip. Maybe Geladon then.
Yep.
Yeah.
The roll of a 1 turned into a Geladon appearance after the Avantika.
Well, I feel like something's going to happen on Islecross. I feel like something, because they say that they can't teleport to Islecross because there is like some magical barrier, or there is so much arcane kind of wishy-washy in the air that it makes it dangerous. I feel like they're going to do some bullshit in the Fallen City to either deactivate that or make it worse, or to do something that is just going to change that, and they're going to either be able to then, oh, it's free, we can teleport off, or more bullshit.
That's on brand.
Bullshit will happen at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll create like a tear in planes or something, and like open up a whole thing. Oof.
We've forgotten about the floating city, like in the astral sea.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if that comes in?
Maybe, because I know Bo is sort of theorizing that this floating city might actually be like a result of things that happened in Aor and Isocross and all that stuff. So
yeah.
We'll have to see. I don't know.
It kind of, yeah. Like the Happy Fun Ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Archmage's bane. I
Yeah.
feel like Isocross, like Garth McMurray's just kind of brought it up. I feel like Isocross is just magic users beware.
Yeah, well, probably.
Kind of scary and exciting.
I know. I'm super worried, and we'll probably. Well, I don't know. I would hope that maybe next episode they like travel to where they're needing to go. But if not next episode, probably the episode after, they'll finally reach like the outskirts or in the area of Aor of where they want to go. I just want to see some cool ancient magic shit. That's all I want.
And like I try to avoid book spoilers on this show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I have no idea.
Some interesting monsters too. Just to get
we've gone months without combat. Then we had an episode that was almost entirely combat, and now we're probably gonna have a series of episodes where there's gonna be some really wicked fights happening.
I think there's gonna be really cool fights, really cool encounters, and like travel encounters. I think will be a big thing for this area.
And we can't forget Molly and the Tomb Takers are still out there.
Oh my god!
We can't even.
I literally forgot completely.
We can't. Remember Molly? Remember that character that died episode 26?
I 100% forgot that he was an issue.
Yep.
I'm still hoping that he is an ally.
Me too.
Because I think we've got...
They need an ally.
Yeah, right I think they've kind of got in their heads like, it's not Molly, which, yeah, I agree, it's not Molly, but I think they've got in their heads, because it's not Molly, he's an enemy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm hoping he can become an ally, even if it's not Molly, if it's Lucian, still. Because I don't trust Vess.
I know.
I don't trust the Cerberus Assembly, so if enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of thing, like...
Exactly.
Yeah. Man.
But then they finally get through their journey and reach Balin Post, where we're gonna meet. What was the contact's name? He had a really badass name. It's like Dagon or something.
Oh, it was Dagon. Yep.
Dagon, yeah.
Yeah.
And a really cool last name too.
It's like Dagon.
Dagon Briarheart or something. It wasn't that, but it was something cool like that.
I was like, I'll come up with a totally random last name, McMurray. I realize I'm just reading guys.
Yeah. Good chat and stuff.
Dagon Fishin.
Dagon Underthorn.
100% thought it was Fishin. Yeah, Dagon Underthorn. I remember thinking that was going to be Sam's character.
Right, because when Veth was wanting to be with her family and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like, ooh, interesting.
It also could potentially still be, because, I mean, maybe Sam and Matt talked like, hey, maybe, like, would it be all right if maybe Veth wanted to spend a little bit of time away? And then
that'd be interesting for, like, campaign wrap-up to ask Sam, like, what was his plans if Veth had decided to stay? Because it was very up in the air. It was very close, I think, to her staying, if it wasn't for the teleport, which they can't even do, so it's like...
Yeah, true.
Like, come, here's my promise that you can see your family every night. Oops, sorry, it'll be a couple of weeks. Super dangerous terrain. Like, although I feel like Veth was kind of just like wanting someone to tell her it was okay to go. Which, you know, it's okay. It's D&D. Play.
Yeah.
Have fun.
But I guess we can maybe, if we have any, talk about some crazy tinfoil hat theories that'll get us sniped out by the Critical Role script writers.
Yeah. I think it's not a crazy theory. I think it's pretty safe, but like Molly or whatever his name is, Lucian being an ally.
Yeah, I really hope that ends up being the case.
yeah, I don't know. Ukatoa being released again feels possible.
Yeah, a second Cataclysm, New Age. I
Yeah,
really
yeah, I
want
think
that. I
that's our
really want that.
overarching theory, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Starts with the new age. I
Yeah.
don't know. Do we have any fun, crazy theories in chat?
Yeah. I feel like, because I mean, we've been saying this the past couple episodes, but like, there's so many crazy things that are happening that it's like, what more could happen?
Yeah.
What?
You can't even like theorize interesting things because they just happen naturally.
I know. I mean, and also to be fair, some of our like crazy tinfoil hat theories have been like, oh, Molly's gonna come back. Ooh, Avanti is gonna come back. It's just like a matter of when. And now we've had both Molly and Avantika come back.
Yep.
So
straight up back.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Still hoping we at some point see Vanderin. Well, see, that's the other thing. I'm wondering if Vanderin's way into the story is in a month from now when the person that Ford hired to find Sabian. I'm guessing she might or they might the one who was hired to do the searching. They may. I can't remember. I can't even remember what their old name was.
Thea? No. Was it Thea?
I can't remember. But Tara.
Tara was
Yes.
the old name, but yes. I can't remember what their.
But yeah, Tara.
Tara was the island name.
Yeah, their investigation might lead them to finding Vanderin and maybe asking him about Sabian and all that stuff. So
yeah,
if there was a way for Vanderin to make his way into the story, that might be a route.
Yeah, and the theory of maybe if Ukatoa if Ukatoa still needs Ford, he might need his old champion as well. Like, he might need Vanderin too.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether he actually needs them or not, because Avantika seems to be doing shit.
Yeah.
Well, she was.
Yeah.
Kotho.
Not doing too good about.
But that's a good point. I completely forgot about Kotho and like hunting down Sabian.
Yeah. So that's another like loose story end that is still out there.
What if it's all kind of like they find Sabian and Ford's version of events are completely wrong, and like Sabian wasn't a bad person?
Yeah, I could easily see something like that happening.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Or maybe like Sabian knew, because at this time was Vanderin still like under Ukatoa's influence when all that happened, or is it kind of like a shaky timeline of when Vanderin kind of dropped that off?
That was when Ford made the bargain and he woke up with the sword. But there could have been, because Avantika also had a weapon with. Did she?
It was on her hand.
Was Vanderin's sword initially, right?
Yes.
So the fact that Ford got it implies that Vanderin didn't have it anymore. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe he wasn't. So that could play into a whole bunch of things. That could have been like Sabian knew about it and was trying to stop it, or Sabian was an agent of Ukatoa and was trying to sabotage him, or...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
God.
And there could be something like completely different that like we don't know. Like there might be some information that we have no idea of.
Yeah.
Like Sabian could be a part of some crazy third party that we haven't met yet. We have no idea.
Yeah, and that, as Lynn says, there's a whole arc out there. Like, what are we going to like?
Right.
What are we? What we said last week on What the Shit? Like, how long do we think it's still got to go?
Yeah.
And I said like probably at least another 50 episodes. Like, yeah, they've still got so much.
So many things.
Like,
so many.
Ice Cross, I think, is going to be a whole thing, like a whole handful of episodes. Obviously, that sounds stupid to say, but yeah. Obviously.
And like, and then, again, I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
We've talked a little bit about how we're not sure if this campaign is going to follow a similar pattern as campaign 1, where there was like some super climactic battle that was like at the forefront of the story. Like this campaign could just be a series of like many big story arcs.
Yeah.
And there really is no like massive overarching like villain or something. The only main one being Tharizdun, but we haven't heard of him in a really long time. So if we were to hear of him, maybe it would be an Isocross or an Aeor when they're doing their digging around. Maybe they find some like ancient things, or maybe there's a society there that's working towards bringing him out. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but Angel of Iris brought up a fun thought of if there might be vestiges in the ruins.
Could definitely see that.
Which would be, I don't know, because it's like, it'd be super cool. I think there's going to be like massive, powerful magic items. But wasn't the whole deal with Aeol that they were like anti-god, or they were like,
yes,
they were not. They were like, we have the power of the gods ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if that, although they could have then been like, oh, these powerful god artifacts, we can
maybe use them against the gods.
But the Vestiges of Divergence, they were created during the Divergence. They were like created after the Age of Arcanum. I think the Vestiges are tied to gods, because I think they didn't? Okay, I must have this wrong. Here's what I thought. I thought the Vestiges of Divergences were weapons and items created by the gods during the calamity, during the battle between the positive and negative gods. But I might be wrong.
Yeah, I can't.
Because
can't remember.
Anyway.
But I think one of the more obvious potential like main villains is the Cerberus Assembly. Especially depending on what they find in Aeor, Vess could just grab what she needs and just dips, and then she brings it back to, maybe she keeps it for herself, or she brings it to the rest of the assembly for, whatever they intend to do. But the assembly is also, I guess, a more obvious potential, final boss in a way.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of, high level, we're talking, level 18 plus casters, gonna be pretty insane.
I just want Trent Ickathon to die.
Yep.
I just want Trent Ickathon. But he's done it in such a way now that even if he does die, it's gonna kind of suck because he's such a crappy person.
I know, because in the end he'll spin it, or he was like, "This is what I wanted."
But he'll be
all
dying
along.
this is what I wanted. Shut
I
up.
planned this from the beginning. I knew this was gonna happen. It's like, shut up, Trent.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Oh man. But yes, we figured out that it is both items from gods and also powerful arcane users. So yes, there could very well be vestiges in the Crashed City. Yeah.
What are the odds that Trent has a clone? I'd say probably 100%.
Oh, 100%.
I'd say it's probably close to 100%,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think on a scale of 99.999% to 100%, it's 100%.
Yeah. That's a safe 50-50 to take. But that also might explain, because I know there's a theory because of, Trent's, his jaundice appearance is because Astrid is, slowly poisoning him. Or it could be a result of him cloning himself, where, an essence of himself is, taken, and he's...
gross person, and his personality has poisoned his...
Could be that. I also like to think of, the theory of, he's created, Horcruxes, and he's, a Voldemort-esque character, where he's, sealing away parts of his soul, which is why he's so confident and is like, yes, Caleb, I want you to kill me, but only because I know when you do that, I'm just going to come back anyways.
There's a spell, and I can't remember what it's called, but it and Trent Ickathon together terrifies me. What's it called?
Oh,
I've
I know, you talked about it before. It's not ultimatum.
It starts with C. So, chat will probably know if I describe it, but it's the spell where you can set up something to happen if certain events happen. I describe that well.
You set a trigger. When this trigger happens, the spell goes off. Contingency.
Yes. That spell and Trent Ickathon scares me. I feel like contingency is his whole deal. So, he's so well planned in advance. I find it hard to believe he wouldn't have that kind of spell active, or like, I know it's like there are limits to it, but look up that spell, guys, for some nightmare fuel with Trendycathon.
Yeah, it's pretty scary when you start to think about it.
Yep.
But any other final thoughts of this episode? Any other final theories?
I saw
anything else?
God mentioned aliens, and I'm on board.
Yep. I mean, Ford is already an alien, so we're like halfway there.
Yeah.
Go check out the moon video, Soda Wax on YouTube. Go check it out.
If you're gonna spend 9 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
great.
A good one. It is. It really is.
Awesome.
Yeah, if we've got nothing else, we can go ahead and wrap this one up. Definitely a fun episode. We haven't had combat in a while, and this one definitely delivered with a lot of awesome moments, with some sprinkled silliness in there in classic Mighty Nine fashion.
Yep, sprinkled.
And speaking of sprinkled, who has also miraculously survived yet again.
I thought this was going to be it.
Yeah,
Watching
the way the man, yeah.
I thought this might have been the moment where he was like, roll death saves for Sprinkle.
Oh my gosh.
In which case, yes, I could finally make a part 2 to my video. Yeah. I'm just waiting for Sprinkle to die until I do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. But yes, give us aliens, give us super cool magical artifacts, give us monsters.
And give us the second calamity. Thanks, Matt. And send email. I sent the email to the writing team. So we're all set there. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us again. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully we got your theory crafting minds going and all this stuff that's gonna happen. Hopefully next week we get some AOR action, or it could just be meeting a bunch of NPCs and then doing a little bit of traveling and having some really interesting fights with some monsters. I can't wait to see what is in store for us. Or finally catching up with the Tomb Takers. Oh my gosh. There's so much to be excited for, and I can't wait to see it. So again, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all so much who's watching this on YouTube or on Spotify or wherever this podcast is available. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys spending your time with us, typing in chat and all that stuff. It is so much fun. And especially when we have episodes like this week and last week where there's just so much fun stuff to talk about. It's just awesome. So again, thank you all so much. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.